Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio's The Incoherent Ramblings of C&E. Christopher and Eric are your hosts, coming to you live from Greensboro, North Carolina, as we do every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Our intro music is provided from the Podshow PodSafe Music Network. Check it out at music.podshow.com. Also, feel free to email your topics for discussion, suggestions, and comments to incoherentramblings@live.com.
This is Christopher. This is Eric. And this is the Incoherent Ramblings of C&E, broadcasting live from the internationally famous C&E Studios, Greensboro, North Carolina. How are you, Eric?
I'm doing fantastic. I see that you're up and about.
I am. Hobbling around.
Well, I wouldn't say hobbling. You're getting around much better.
No, up and downstairs I'm hobbling. If I've been seated for a long time, I get up. I have to hobble for a little bit because it kind of tightens up on me, but I am getting along much better.
It is softball injury.
I was placed on the IR.
Yes. And fresh off your honeymoon.
Yes.
Recently.
Yep.
Returned from that hot vacation spot, Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we went up Friday and came back Monday. Exactly.
Stayed in the honeymoon suite?
We stayed in a little, I don't know what the correct term for the hotel. It wasn't super swanky, but it was nice. We called it the Hotel George.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Capitol Hill, about it's a block and a half from Union Station, maybe 3 blocks from the Capitol itself. Nice location. A block over from a soup kitchen, so you felt safe walking at night.
Right.
But no, it didn't go hungry. No. Or thirsty. There was plenty to drink going around. No, it was a nice time. So, if it was,
you have to rent the room by the hour.
No. Just the honeymoon suite. the bed where you put in, you used to put in quarters. Now you have to put in like credit card or larger bills.
I know that.
By the way,
it is.
I encourage. Yes. So here it is, June the 10th.
I know.
June.
And you had to walk everywhere too, right? On your bum leg.
Yes. The Sunday before last, I was able to finally get my boot on. Thursday, I actually walked without, the crutches altogether, with just the boot. And I decided to take Bella for a short walk, and that was successful. So I took the crutches with me, just in case, but I never used it.
Because DC is to walk everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And I did a lot of walking. And, Lauren was telling a friend of hers when she's telling about the trip, saying, we got the trolley tour, so we wouldn't have to do so much walking. But the fact is, if I were perfectly healthy and able to walk, I still would have done that, because driving up there is a madhouse. And what's even worse than that is trying to find a place to park. It's a nightmare. So I would have done that anyhow. I don't really think our vacation wasn't impeded because of my injury, based on what we had planned to do. So
how long does the trolley take you there?
It goes to, I think, 18 or 19 different stops. It starts at Union Station, and goes to the Capitol, which is right there at the U.S. Supreme Court and Library of Congress, right? Then it drops you off the Air and Space Museum on the mall, which is there at several museums. Then it goes to Jefferson Memorial, FDR Memorial, and then Lincoln, and then the Washington Monument, like World War II, Korean and Vietnamese. And then it goes to some more museums, a couple private museums. It's all the Smithsonian. And then you can pick up, I think, stop number 10. But at stop number 6, you can pick up a side, the red line, a little side tour that goes to Arlington National Cemetery and back.
Okay.
And stop number 10, you can pick up the green line, which goes to the National Cathedral, shopping at Georgetown, DuPont Circle.
Did we drive to the National Cathedral?
Yeah, we drove. Yeah, we drove either on our way or on our way back.
That's right on the way to
the restaurant.
Yeah.
So
I saw all that.
Yeah, we did. Well, see, here's the thing.
Now, does it take you and then drop you off, and it just keeps going in a circle, and you can get back on it?
Yeah, they've got multiple.
So you can spend as much time at each location as you want.
Yeah. They've probably got 20 buses running all day,
right?
Just going in this predefined woods, and a bus should be by with it every 30 minutes or less. So you get off, you can stay there 2 hours, 1 hour, stay on the bus. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. You and I did not see all those memorials.
No, but I have seen them. Not all of you, but I have seen them. The other ones that we hadn't seen, you mentioned.
Right.
Except the FDR, I'm not sure I haven't seen them.
No, whatever.
But all the rest of them.
Did he create Social Security? I'm just for him.
Oh, you have the fear.
Fear. So wait a second, that's Kennedy.
Is that Kennedy?
There's no memorial for Kennedy.
No, that's not Kennedy.
Or we have the fear itself. That's Kennedy.
No, that's FDR.
Really?
Yeah. Kennedy is, that's not what your country can do to you, but what you can do to your country. I thought that
it is FDR.
Yourself was Churchill, but then I was corrected.
I don't know who it is.
I looked it up. It's FDR.
Well, we didn't get off at any of the memorials. We just saw them. Really, as you found out, the Smithsonian, one could take a day if it was something you were really interested in.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly can't do all of them in a long weekend. You couldn't do all of them in a week.
Not really justice.
No. Lauren really wanted to go to the American Art Museum, which also had the National Portrait Gallery. We saw more on the first level than any other level. I can't even say we saw most of it, because that's where we saw most of the exhibits. We saw maybe 10% of the second level. We never made it to the third level. And neither one of us are, into art. We just like looking at it, but we don't know anything about it. If someone were really into it and wanted to read about each individual piece, they would need a week there. Seriously, yes, it's very, very extensive. So, I kept on telling her, she said, well, we didn't get to do this or that. I'm like, well, we can't do it all in the amount of time we're up here. And, the motto, leave wanting more. It's the whole reason why you want to go back, So, but it was a good time. We did have a little mishap. I'll go ahead and share it. I had, about a month and a half before we went, I sent an email to my senator congressman asking for a tour of the Capitol and of the White House. Well, I got an email back saying that the White House was closed Saturday due to a private event, and it's always closed Sunday and Monday to the public. So that wouldn't work. However, we were going to have a private tour of the Capitol. And to be there at the tour was to meet at 12:20, and there would be someone they say it won't be the official welcome center people that have on red vests and black ties. It's be a staff member from our office. So what we were going to do, the first where you get on the trolley was at Union Station. So that was stop number 1, but you didn't have to ride the trolley. You were already there, so where you got on. So we went and had breakfast there at a breakfast restaurant at Union Station. We were going to get on the trolley and get off at the very next stop at the U.S. Capitol, and we were going to go to the Library of Congress and the Supreme Court, which would give us enough time up until we went to meet this young lady at 12:20 at the Capitol. Well, what none of us knew is that the Susan G. Komen Foundation, I'm currently at odds with, no offense, even though I give to them every year out of honor of my mother as a breast cancer survivor, decided they were going to hold some ridiculous race where they shut down all the streets, which I think is beyond stupid. It really is. You should not shut down the streets of a major city of America just for your own. It's dumb. People will give money without someone walking in place of it. I never have understood fundraisers. They're stupid to me. However, you don't shut down the city. That's just stupid. Well, they had shut down the city. And so stop number 2, he said, was open, but stop number 3 was closed, and then we could pick up at number 4. He said they had sent through a test trolley that morning, and 3 was the only one that was closed. So we get up to stop number 2 where he's supposed to turn into it, and there's police everywhere, and they won't let us in. And they're like, go, this is closed. And so we go around the block, and he's like, hey, he called in to headquarters. They said, no, it was open. So we go around the block. We find a police officer, U.S. Capitol Police, and he's like, is First Street open? He goes, yeah, it's open now. He's like, it was just temporarily closed. So we get down there, and they're like flagging us to keep on going. They won't let us turn. And he just stops the trolley, traffic all piled up behind us. And the lady's like, move now. And he's like, the officer back there just said First Street is open. And she was like, no, it's not. Don't come through here again. It was the same lady that told us to go through again. So he goes on to stop number, can't go to 3 because it's shut down too. So we're trying to find number 4. So we asked, we said, well, so does this mean we can't get off at the Capitol at all? And he goes, no, I'm sorry. And we're like, well, we had an appointment at 12:20. And he's like, oh, man. He's like, if I had known, I would have dropped you off back there on the backside at the Library of Congress. He's like, but, I can't. He couldn't put the rest of the tour on hold just to take us back there because we were already, many blocks past it. And other people were wanting to go to stop 4, 5, 6, and so on. And so I was like, I understand that. If we were the only ones on the bus, it would have been different. But it was about 50% full. Short story is, we had to go. Oh no, there's more. There's a lot more.
He couldn't let you off there, let you walk, or would have been too far to walk.
Oh, it would have been too far from where we were. We stayed on the trolley until 12 o'clock, where he dropped us off at an unscheduled stop, where he probably could have got ticketed. He just dropped us off at First Street on the other side of the Capitol, and we had to walk to the visitor center to meet our girl. Okay.
So you still had 20 minutes to get there from where he dropped you off.
Yeah. It was like, it was on the, where Library of Congress was, It was on the opposite side of the Capitol from that. So.
Okay.
But on that same side of the street, on that same side of the Capitol, where we saw Libby and Robert.
Right.
Yeah. But all the way to First Street, a couple hundred yards. So he's like, just walk that way, go to the visitor center. We're like, okay, thank you. So we were on the bus for almost 2 hours, from like 10:05 to 12 o'clock.
And not seeing anything.
Not seeing anything. Well, we're seeing the stuff as we drive around, and he's giving us the little, the little narrated tour. Right. Okay, so I mean, it's not like we didn't see anything, but we were on the bus the whole time for an hour and 55 minutes.
Right.
So we're sitting there, I'm like, we're hoofing it. I'm gimping along with my boot. And I noticed I had a missed call. I checked the voicemail. It's the staff member saying that she's, caught up in traffic. I called her back. She goes, apparently there's some, ridiculous, fundraiser event. She goes, I don't know what's going on, but there's pink ribbons everywhere, and the streets are shut down. And she goes, I can't get to the Capitol. I'm really sorry I'm late. I said, no problem. She calls back again after we're already in the Capitol waiting on her, and she says that they won't let her go in to where her assigned parking is. She's like, I don't know what to do. I'm so sorry. This is out of my control, but I'm sorry. Just give me a few more minutes. Okay, our appointment was to meet her at 12:20. At 1:15, she comes walking up to us, noticeably shaken, apologizing 100 times. Her credentials expired the day before.
No way.
She got the U.S. Capitol Police that were, scanning people as they came in, they took her pocketbook, they took her credentials, her security badge, they took her cell phone, and they were like getting ready to put her in handcuffs for illegally trying to enter on, outdated credentials by one day. And she's like, and they weren't going to let her go in. She's like, you don't understand. I have people that are in there waiting for me for a private tour, and they weren't going. She pleaded with them, so they finally let her in just to come straight to us and come back. She was going to have to go before a disciplinary committee, and she was like afraid she was going to be in a lot of trouble. So she came in there. She's apologized. She goes, "This is so unprofessional. This is not how we're supposed to do stuff. I am so sorry. I didn't realize it expired yesterday. I would have got it, I would have got it renewed." She called her boss. Her boss said, "There's nothing I can do." They tried to get in touch with the senator. He was unavailable. Didn't know what to do. So she at least got our ticket, so we didn't have to wait in line for that. And she got us in the front of the line, so we didn't have to wait. There was like 300 people in line, and we just went straight in to do the regular tour that runs all day, which was good. You see a movie about our country and the history and the Capitol, moving from Philadelphia to Washington and all that. You get to go in the dome. You get to go into where the Senate and the House used to meet before it got too big to meet there anymore. So it was interesting. It wasn't a complete lost cause. But I said all that to say this. We did not get to use those previous 2 hours before we met her to do what we had planned.
Right.
And then we didn't get to do with her because she was actually going to take us into where the House and the Senate meets on the floor.
Right.
Which can only be done with a personal private tour guide. It can't be done with a welcome center. You're not allowed to go in there.
Right.
So we missed the 2 hours of Library of Congress and Supreme Court. And then waiting on her, we waited an hour, and then we didn't even get to do what we had spent 3 hours waiting to do with her.
Right.
So it was a little disappointing. It was a little disappointing. Then we went over to the Library of Congress. Then we got on the bus. By the time we got to the American Art Museum, it was 2:30. The tour buses end at 5:30. So we kind of had like 2 hours and 45 minutes before we had to come back out to get the last bus.
They should not end them that early as well either.
Right. Well, they start at 9. So, I mean, it's a pretty long day. And then they run them again at 7:30 at night for the moonlit tours.
Okay. That's the reason you don't charge twice.
Yes, exactly.
Let's say, because there's things that are open that late that you could.
Well, the art museum was open till didn't open until 11:30, but it was open until 7 at night.
Right.
So, anyhow, it was a little disappointing start to our day. And I didn't even go into this when we were going through the Capitol. I'm totally cool with screening people. I totally understand they need to be have precautions. You go through metal detectors. You have to take off your belt, just like the airport.
Right. Did they take your shoes off?
Well, no, my boot set off the alarm. I thought they were going to make me take that off, but he just scanned me everywhere, saw that there was nothing. He scanned the boot and saw it was just those metal protectors and the support on the bottom, and they let me in. They said if you had any water, soda, or anything, you had to drink it and throw it away. If you had any, spray objects, you had to throw it in the trash. Well, Lauren had her mace with her. I was like, I'm not throwing that away. I paid $10 for that. I'm not coming to the biggest crime capital in the country without some form of protection, because you can't carry a gun there. So you have to do something. And so I'm like, I'm not throwing that mace away. So she just left it in her pocketbook. It went through the x-ray. The lady opened it up, went all through everything. She never found it. Probably because it's pink, because it was part of the proceeds went to the Susan G. Komen Foundation.
You should thank them.
So it was, the lady probably thought it was like some makeup or whatever.
Right.
She, what's this, lipstick? She didn't know.
Right.
If that would have got confiscated, I would have been very angry. So the guy scanning me, the security guard, I heard him, told Lauren, he goes, ma'am, you may go through. She goes through, it says off the thing because of something she had on. My guy was being very friendly. He says to her, he's like, oh, ma'am, please go back through and wait until I signal for you. And she's like, okay. And then this guy who was standing at attention, like he was at Buckingham Palace or something, with this really, really, really sharp attitude, says, ma'am, you need to get on the other side of the metal detector right now. And I was like, it was all I could do to, like, control myself because I almost said, dude, don't speak to my wife that way. I don't care if you have on a badge, if you're carrying a gun. That doesn't give you the authority to speak to my wife that way. You need to, check your attitude. He had no, authority to do that.
Right.
Because she had been told by one of his peers to go through. Mm-hmm. So, whatever. We were treated like criminals. But it wasn't just us. Everybody trying to get in was treated like, so it was equal treatment.
Right.
But it wasn't a big deal. I just saw, but he was like 23. So he
might have got an authority trip.
Yeah, he was young and he was trying to, I guess everybody else, all the other guards were probably in their mid to late 30s, early 40s. I think he was just trying to prove himself or whatever. So whatever. I just ignored him.
Right.
And Lauren was just looking at him like, who are you? Right. You look like a child. So that was how the day got started. But it ended up being a nice day. We had a nice meal. It was so-so meal.
What dinner, diners, dinner?
We went, well, the first night we went to Austin's at the suggestion of the concierge. We wanted Tex-Mex, and it wasn't bad by any means, but it certainly wasn't great. A little disappointed by it. The next day, Saturday, that was Saturday, Sunday, we went to Georgetown and went shopping and sightseeing and whatnot there. We went to McCormick and Schmick's that night, and it was absolutely amazing. It was like, I got this trio of, you could choose, there's multiple choices, but I got halibut, grilled shrimp, and crab cake. And it came with green beans and carrots, and also had a Caesar salad. And everything was cooked perfectly. It was delicious. It was incredible. It was just awesome. Lauren got, there was a special with, you get a filet or sirloin or New York strip and jumbo shrimp stuffed with crab meat. And she said hers was amazing. It was just by far the best meal of the trip, no doubt. So that was Sunday night. No, that was Saturday night. Yes. Friday night we went to the Tex-Mex. That was Saturday night. Sunday night we found this tapas restaurant where we went, a tapas bar, and it was called Jaleo, and it was good. It cost almost as much as McCormick and Schmick, and it wasn't that good.
Had lots of tapas in Madrid.
Yeah.
And I wasn't impressed.
No.
It was like you said, good. But
it was good. It wasn't great.
Right. That's what I know about.
Well, it was all these weird combinations. It was like, okay, fruit good, cake great, fruit cake nasty crap. It was like shrimp good, artichoke not so good, shrimp, artichoke, and goat dung nasty crap. It's just like they were trying to come up with the oddest combination to be unique, and it just didn't work for me.
Right.
Anyhow, that was it.
Awesome.
If you ever get a chance to go to McCormick and Schmick, I would recommend it, especially if someone else is paying. That's the best part. Oh, and the dessert. I have to tell you about the dessert. This is a Christopher dessert. A brownie. Hot. Had like huge chunks of chocolate in the brownie. A scoop of Rocky Road ice cream on top of it. This huge pile of marshmallow fluff that had been torched and lightly browned and heated on top of that. Oh, wait. On top of the ice cream was chocolate sauce, hot fudge, and then the marshmallow, and then candied walnuts and almonds scattered all over the plate. Oh, my God.
Wow.
And a graham cracker stabbed in the middle. They called it the ultimate s'more. It was amazing. It was really good. I wanted another one.
Ice cream?
Yeah.
You had ice cream too?
It had Rocky Road on top of it, yeah.
Okay.
It was amazing. McCormick and Schmick, I'm giving them, they should give me like a credit or something for giving the shout out.
Absolutely.
Go eat there. It's really good. We have one in Charlotte. So Lauren and I are thinking maybe a road trip sometime. Maybe late summer or fall.
I thought I'd seen one somewhere, so that must have been it.
It was in Charlotte, in downtown Charlotte. So anyhow, Monday we just got up, took our leisurely time, and came home.
Right.
So it's a good trip.
Good to hear.
So, and I came home that night. I took my boot off. I haven't had it on since Monday night. All day Tuesday, I've been walking ever since without it. Tuesday was a little difficult. Yesterday was better, and today, doing much better. So
will we be off the deal? Are we going to go back to playing? Or
no, the tournament is over. We came in second place.
Okay.
We did. We ended the season. Remember, I told you we would end the season 6-6.
Uh-huh.
Because there were we played three teams. So three teams 2 times each, and I absolutely knew that. No, let's see here.
You knew you'd lose to one of the teams twice?
There's going to be. I knew that there was 2 teams we would always beat, and I knew there were 2 teams that we would always lose to, or three teams. Yeah. So the 3 teams that we lost to 2 times, there's your 6 losses, and then the 6 wins. And I knew it. I knew it as we played them. I said, we will beat this team every time. We will lose to this team every time. We ended up 6-6 for a season. We should have been 7-5. We were cheated on one game. Seriously, not being a bad sportsman. It was the bottom of the inning. I was up to bat. We were up 7-5. She made us continue the inning, even though we were already up 7-5, and there was only like 3 minutes left to play. We had 2 quick outs. I was up to bat. When I got done batting, she said, "There's 17 seconds left. We gotta keep playing." Even the other team had already started to come over to congratulate us for beating them 7-5. She's like, "No, there's 17 seconds left. We got time. We have to start a new inning." We started a new inning. They ended up beating us 8-7.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I mean, even they said, they were like, "She took that game from you. That was ridiculous." And she reminded me an awful lot of Susie. It was like,
couldn't y'all have been slow wrapping it up? Or
if I had known, and this is why I was really frustrated with myself. If I had known that she was going to do that, I would have taken I already had it was the count when I struck out. There was he was pitching me balls, and I decided I really, really wanted to swing at one. And she had only walked one person the entire game, so I was like, she's not going to give me a walk. But these were really, really. I mean, she had to call them balls, and so I took a couple swings. The count was already. It would start off 1-0, then 2-0, then 2-1, and then 2-2, and then it was 3-2. If I had known she was going to do that, I would have sit there and took pitches, or maybe leaned into one and got hit by one, or just hacked at it, just to have another at bat or whatever. I had no clue, and I swung at a ball that I shouldn't have swung at. It was way, way outside.
You could even stepped out of the batter's box for a second and just.
Right. I could have called time or whatever and just clear my throat or had a cough or if I had known, I would have done that. I would delay the game on purpose. But I mean, seriously, there were 17 seconds before the game was supposed to end. She's like, "Nope, got to start a new inning." None of the other umpires ever did that. Ever. They just said, "Game."
Right.
I mean, you're up 7-5. You're the home team.
Right.
There's nothing to do. So, if the other team had been the home team, then they deserved their last at bat. So, anyhow, 6-6. We went in the playoffs. We kept winning and winning and winning. We won a doubleheader. Ended up losing to the team that was the best team in the league. Absolutely, hands down, they were the best. Only lost one game all season. Lost to them in the championship game, but only by 1 run. And so we came in second.
Okay.
Exciting. When we won that doubleheader to stay alive in playoffs, we were down by 1 run. No, excuse me, by 2 runs. It was the bottom of the last inning. Dan Lohman was up. There were 2 outs with 2 people on base.
Oh, wow.
And we were down by 2 runs. 2 outs, 2 people on base, and I think the count was something like 3-2.
Oh, my gosh.
And he hits it over the fence.
Wow.
So we won by 1. I mean, that's something like you see on ESPN.
Yeah,
it was, really exciting. It's like, oh, that's cool. So,
were you at any?
No, I wasn't at that one because of my injury. I was,
Still, did you go to?
Oh, no. I would have gone to the championship game, but we were in D.C.
Okay.
For that. So, and prior to that, I wasn't really getting around well enough to go.
Yeah, you weren't.
So, anyhow, well, there goes half of our show. Do you have any good news for us?
I do.
Why don't you, sorry, I have to check my phone when I see it blinking. Why don't you share some good news with us?
Well, this news story starts like most of my good news stories.
Uh,
Child falls from 17th floor of Miami hotel.
I'm feeling more fuzzy already.
And survives.
Oh, okay.
Palm tree fronds may have saved the life of a 4-year-old boy on Friday morning when he fell from a 17th floor balcony at the Doubletree Grand Hotel. The boy, whose name was not released, somehow climbed over a covered balcony railing, bounced off a palm tree, and safely landed on the dirt surface of an area surrounding the hotel's 11th floor pool. So he didn't fall against the full 17 stories. It's a miracle he doesn't appear to have a broken bone, says the boy's father, who had taken him to the hospital for observation. The Miami Fire and Rescue was equally astonished. The boy had survived the fall, saying the boy may have fallen 70 to 80 feet. He said he had seen people die from falls of 30 feet.
Sure.
It's amazing he's alive. So.
I mean, hitting those fronds would definitely help.
Right.
But bouncing off of them and landing onto concrete at the pool, and they say he sustained minor injuries, like a few scrapes.
Right.
So that was amazing.
Do you have any good news?
I have a story about a missing pup.
Okay.
It was missing for 4 years.
Is that a good news story? He found his way home.
He lived with a Korean family.
Mm-hmm.
They reported him missing. No, sorry.
Shortly after dinner. I'm sorry.
A family on New York's Long Island is celebrating the return of a little white dog that went missing 4 years ago. The fluffy dog is named Cooper. He was dropped off about a month ago at an animal shelter 35 miles east of New York City. He had been found on the street in Brentwood, about 15 miles from his home in Lloyd Harbor. He had been reported missing in 2006.
Wow.
And he was 15 miles from home. Wow. Supervisors scanned for the chip, found it, contacted the owners, and they came to pick him up. Very happy to have him home, and he was very happy to see them. Except for his matted hair, he was in good condition.
So somebody had found him, I guess, taken care of him for a couple of years. And then,
yep.
Or do you think he was living on the streets?
I think he's living on the streets, and someone found him and took him to the shelter. That's when they found him.
Did he live on the streets for 4 years?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I figured he had
maybe
somebody found him, took care of him, and then he got out again.
Maybe been hanging out with some homeless folk or something. I don't know.
Maybe. I have a story. Well, that's good news. I guess it is.
To start off with a tragedy.
She's not dead. A census records a woman who's 157 years old. And we have no proof of that she's really that old. But census officials have said they believe the woman claimed to have been born in 1853. She's from Indonesia. About the time of the Crimean War. Let's see here. There is no authentic data to prove her age, but judging from her statements and the age of her adopted daughter, who's now 108 years old.
Wow.
It's difficult to doubt it.
Well, if her daughter was 108 and adopted her.
Right.
Wow.
The only person verified to have lived past 120 years of age was a French woman named Jean Clement, who died in 1997 at the age of 122.
Now, is the daughter that's 108? Is that provable?
That's provable.
Okay. So she has to at least be 108. You can't, or 120. I mean, you can't adopt a child. If you're a child, right?
Right.
So she had to at least be the legal age of adoption.
Right.
Wow.
In spite of her age, she still has an incredible memory, clear sight, and has no hearing problems. And she speaks Dutch fluently. And Indonesia was a Dutch colony for hundreds of years until 1945.
Wow. So that's even more proof.
Right.
He's around at some point.
He said that she had burnt her identification documents to avoid being linked to an alleged communist coup in 1965.
Mm.
Indonesia is the world's fourth most populous country with a population of about 240 million people.
Wow. Which is still small compared to number one.
Right.
Billions.
Yes.
Well, that's good news for a long life.
Yeah.
Good for her. Well, I have a story of honesty.
Okay.
Two sisters found nearly $18,000 in an abandoned duffel bag and notified the police. 21-year-old Michelle and her 16-year-old sister Jessica say they found the bag at Macy's parking lot Tuesday night. They took it home but didn't look inside until the next morning, and they were startled by what they found.
Now, who finds just a duffel bag and doesn't open it?
I know. Well, I know. I don't know.
That's a little fishy.
That's a little suspect.
It is.
Police Lieutenant Steve Adams says car salesman Ben Huntsman called them Tuesday night when he realized he lost a bag containing cash from recent sales and couldn't find it by retracing his steps. The sisters' honesty made Huntsman a very happy man. The Salt Lake Tribune says he showed it by dropping the sisters home late Wednesday and giving each sister, dropping by their home and giving them each a $250 reward for their honesty.
That is good. I'd like to think I would have done the same, but I don't know.
I would probably...
but I would have thought it was from, unless there was evidence that it was like, if it was evidence it was from a store or then I probably would have.
Just in a bag.
If it's in a bag and I'm thinking this is somebody's illegal game, it's my illegal game now.
I'd have been speaking Dutch in the Netherlands. I don't know, Aruba, one of them, Netherlands countries.
That is right.
It'd be like, I said no salt, no salt. I will write a strong letter. I'll burn the place down. That's what I would have been doing. Oh, boy.
We could use to go to Australia.
Yep, yeah.
They have a horse day now.
Do what?
It's official.
It's official.
It's official. There is a day in Australia known as Whores Day.
Right.
It's groups representing sex workers in Australia held a nationwide International Whores Day Saturday to call for uniform anti-discrimination laws, observers said. The head of the Secret Alliance said laws protecting sex workers, there's laws protecting sex workers in Tasmania, Queensland, and the Australian Capital Territory are not enough and should extend to other territories and states. International Whores Day event was about creating awareness about discrimination.
Well, I guess that's good news. I guess a day to celebrate.
Currently, levels of discrimination against sex workers are unacceptably high, she said, from prices to advertising in newspapers, through to getting bank loans, to being affected in custody battles because of our sex work experience being used against us. I can see where that might. It's terrible what they're having to go through. It's tough being a whore.
It is. This is a story about a young couple that got married in unusual circumstance. A bride and groom who were among 14 people injured in a shuttle bus crash that killed a member of their wedding party were married Saturday at an Indianapolis hospital just hours after the accident. Lauren McGee and Tom Hanley were among 7 people taken to Methodist Hospital for treatment. After tending to the injured, staff prepared a conference room for the wedding. It was an emotional ceremony. About 100 people, including guests who had planned to celebrate the wedding at a downtown event center, gathered for the hospital ceremony. A nurse's husband brought a suit for the groom, and other staff helped clean the bride's wedding dress before they exchanged vows. The crash happened about 2 p.m., and it killed James Douglas, The injured were taken to 2 hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. A hospital spokesman, Todd Harper, said 7 others were taken to that hospital. Security officers from Methodist picked up crash victims from the other hospital to attend the ceremony. The bus was knocked on its side by the crash, which happened as the wedding party was apparently heading to take photos downtown. The driver of a sport utility vehicle that collided with the bus wasn't hurt. One of the vehicles ran a red light. Police are still trying to determine who was at fault. So it's unfortunate someone died, but they, I guess, carried through with their wedding. I don't know how. When I first read this earlier today, I wasn't really sure how I felt about it, Eric. It seemed almost disrespectful to the guy who had died. I mean, he was part of the wedding. He was with them as part of the wedding party.
Right.
Was there to celebrate the wedding with them. If he had been injured more severely than the other ones or whatever, that's fine. But, I mean, he died.
Right.
And they went ahead and got married. I mean, I understand why they went ahead and got married, but it just seemed, to me, a little disrespectful.
I see what you're coming from, but maybe they knew his wishes better than us.
Right.
And thought that he would.
That's cliched, though. Oh, that's the way he would have wanted us to do. James would have wanted us to go on. That doesn't mean,
He wouldn't want to be the reason for us not getting married on our honeymoon tomorrow.
To me, it seems a little selfish of the bride group, personally. But also, you have to take into consideration that there were 100 people coming. There were probably out-of-town guests who had, arranged their schedule, taken time off work, so on and so forth, where it would have been a nightmare to try to re-coordinate all of that again. So
selfish of James to die.
I know. Can you believe James? The nerve. So, I mean, I understand why they did. I truly do.
There probably is no right or wrong.
Right. It just seemed, to me, just a little disrespectful to the gentleman who passed away.
Well, James would want them to spend one more day not together.
He would,
husband and wife.
He would want them to share their love.
Yeah. Or be the cause of being separated for one more day.
Exactly.
So, let's see here. I have a story about laugh yoga. Have you heard of that?
Only recently.
It's a movement that's sweeping the nation. So really, there's about 6,000 clubs in 65 countries now.
Oh, it's sweeping the globe.
The globe. It's international. It is international.
Like we are.
Yes.
This is your hour of laugh yoga right here with us.
That's exactly right. That's what people have been doing. Laugh yoga. No, laugh yoga.
Yap yoga.
Yap yoga. Our listeners have been experiencing laugh yoga.
And they didn't even know it.
And how long has it been on the air?
Over a year.
We invented it.
We are pioneers in laugh yoga.
Yes, we are.
We certainly are.
We have a lot of great benefits.
The fathers of laugh yoga.
Yes.
Right here.
Right here. It has a lot of great benefits. It helps with social connections. It helps you laugh with people. People you laugh with, you form an instant bond with.
Right.
Our listeners have a bond with us.
Well, where does our bond?
And they become happier people, happier to get along with.
Right.
So it's basically groups of people get together, and they just laugh for 45 minutes straight. They start off going, ho, ho, ha, ha, hee, hee. And it goes on from there, Sometimes they start talking gibberish, which, cracks other people up.
Right.
We talk gibberish, it cracks our listeners up.
Right.
So it gets to a point where people are just brought to a hysterical uproar of laughter.
Right.
So the group sizes vary. Sometimes they're between 9 to a dozen people is probably the average.
Mm-hmm.
On World Laughter Day, on May 2nd, they had a session where 27 people turned out.
Oh, wow.
So
that's definitely sweeping the globe.
Oh, absolutely. It's invigorating. It's contagious.
Right.
76-year-old participants said I had no idea what to expect. But laughter massages your body on the inside. It does. Laughter massages your body on the inside.
I'm getting an internal massage right now.
Right now. Let's see here. And it helps reduce stress.
That is
takes
true.
you out of that threat or flight mode.
Right.
It reduces tension. I just like that it massages you from the inside.
Yes.
So, helps you get through the tough times.
It is funny to talk about, but I think that's fine. I think they're good. I mean, it's true. Let's say you're at a sporting event where sometimes interpersonal relationships can go awry.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say there at the very beginning, you've created a laugh, or you have something in common with one person. If something strikes up later, it's like, oh, no problem, buddy. I'll step on by, or what? You know what I mean?
Right.
But if that bond already isn't there, then they're like trying to get in your face and try to start something. So it does create a common interest and a common bond, and laughing is fun.
It is.
I just didn't know it was an internal massage.
It is. Laughing is like an internal massage, and it helps you mentally too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that it releases some sort of endorphins in your mind. It helps you.
It does. I think will raise dopamine, or what's the one that makes you happy? Serotonin. When you eat chocolate, it does something like that.
Right.
So, well, good for them.
Yeah.
But that's the best news story we've had. Laughing from the inside.
Yeah. Massaging from the inside.
Well, here's something funny. This should make you laugh.
Laughing is an internal massage.
I always like stories about poo. Mammoths ate their own poo.
Oh.
I mean, they made a habit of eating their dung, researchers say. I love the way they word this right here. Mammoths made a habit of munching on their own dung. Munching! A behavior known as coprography to scientists. Turns out your dog isn't the only animal interested in pre-digesting young.
Do dogs, are they, do they trace their heritage back to mammoths?
The woolly mammoth.
The woolly mammoth.
They did. They made. Here's another way of wording it. Mammoths made a habit of eating their own excrement. I don't know if feces is anywhere in this.
They didn't feast on their feces?
They were ecstatic over their excrement. The why is where things get interesting.
They diet of diarrhea?
Oh my goodness.
A dinner of dung?
It said
plate to poop?
A plate to poop. It's like the poo-poo platter.
The poo-poo platter.
They were Chinese.
Yes.
They migrated from China. They were some people thinking that maybe this is for an actual article with scientific research.
I'm making light of it.
But what's funny to me, they are serious, but they keep throwing in these things that are intentionally humorous. Like maybe leftover mammoth pie was the only thing worth eating before spring grasses came back. It was basically they were in stress and in need of a prehistoric power bar. So basically, mammoths, according to this research, ate their own poop. So that's my story about poop. I'm not going to read this whole story. I do want to get it in real quick.
In a related story, the mammoths have underdeveloped taste buds.
This comes to us from Asheville, North Carolina, our home state.
Fairly local for us.
This is not a happy story. Richard Butler, he was getting ready to be fianced. He was getting ready to propose to his girlfriend.
Well, we don't know if she would have said yes.
We will never know.
We never know why.
Richard Butler wanted his girlfriend to think they were just taking a scenic hike in the North Carolina mountains, but he had a secret plan. When they got to the top, he planned to pull out a ring and ask her to be his bride. Lightning struck 3 times as the Knoxville, Tennessee couple were on Max Patch Ball, were some friends of ours, friends of the show. Jerry and Leanna have hiked several times. The third hit Butler and his girlfriend, killing her. He suffered 3rd-degree burns.
Oh,
She didn't say anything. I turned around, and she was laying a few feet away. I crawled to her. I did CPR for probably 15 minutes. And the whole time, I was trying her cell phone, but couldn't get a signal.
Well, that's sad.
It is. He was.
We go from laughter being inside on the inside to charged fiance.
Right. Fried fiance. We're doing alliteration here.
Right. Fried fiance.
That's horrible. Basically, she's dead, and he's got a long road of recovery ahead of him. But it's unusual. I mean, it's unusual for one person to be struck by lightning, let alone two people at the same time. So, definitely an odd occurrence there. So,
their engagement was electrifying.
Right.
Sorry. Terrible.
I'm trying not to laugh.
All right. Any more uplifting stories? That doesn't sound much happier. I'm going to go with mine. Washington inmate smuggles tattoo ink bottles, needles, and a smoking pipe in his rectum.
Rectum nearly killed him.
Let's see. A recent visitor to their county jail came with a cigarette lighter, rolling papers, a golf ball-sized tobacco, a tattoo ink bottle, 8 tattoo needles, 1-inch smoking pipe, small bag of pot, all stuffed inside his rectum. Gavin Stranger, 24, was booked earlier this week on a disorderly conduct charge. No contraband was found when cops patted him down, a jail office official said. 19 minutes later, however, a plastic bag floating in Stranger's cell toilet got the cops suspicious. After some questioning, Stranger surrendered the goods and received another misdemeanor charge. We were all wondering how he put it all up there, one officer said. The tobacco was pretty impressive. It was a good ounce. So
I would say it was a buttload of stuff. Back to lap yoga.
There you go.
Oh,
Lordy.
Seriously, though, the needles, that's the part that's a little scary to me.
6 of them.
6.
But they were in a plastic bag.
Well, this comes to us from Georgia. Police arrested a 24-year-old man, they said, was found driving his car after he reported it stolen. Officers at Floyd County Jail said Wednesday that Ryan Lance Rowland, who was arrested Saturday, was still in jail after being granted a bond of $2,700 in charges of false report of a crime and driving under the influence. Police said he was staying at a motel, had told officers someone entered his room when he was out and his car had been stolen. They watched for the 2001 Acura on the road and spotted it with the owner behind the wheel. He was jailed after an alcohol test, and police said he told them a friend had borrowed the car but failed to return it when promised.
Huh.
So if you're going to report your car stolen, maybe it's a good idea not to actually go out and drive in it. Drunk, yeah. Or sober, but yeah, drunk. That's maybe not the
Speaking
smartest.
of drinking and driving,
Mm-hmm.
I have a story about a gentleman who had just gotten a liver transplant
Mm-hmm.
and decided to drink and drive.
Right.
So trying to test out the new liver that he's gotten. The liver transplant recently pled guilty Friday to driving drunk at 7 times the legal limit when he struck a pedestrian, 2 parked cars, and a moving vehicle. He had a blood alcohol reading of 0.56 after the hit-and-run incident. Let's see here. It's the highest reading she has ever seen, as a police officer, the highest reading she's ever seen in a local drunken driving case. According to the American Council for Drug Education, a drug alcohol level of 0.35% for most people would be the same as being under anesthesia for surgery.
Wow.
Let's see. I guess that's all it's worth saying.
Wow. So, I mean, he got a liver transplant. Do we know why he got a new liver?
Well, what do you think?
Probably from cirrhosis.
I would guess, but I don't know.
That is strange. That's definitely ironic, I would say. I mentioned Susie earlier. Not insinuating that Susie is a robber, but this story reminds me of her because it's about someone who's bossy.
Yes.
Indianapolis police say 3 armed men who broke into a man's apartment not only stole his flat-screen television, they forced him to help him move it down the flight of stairs.
I got actually dropped it. Whoops.
Oops. A police report said 30-year-old Jason Dimmadin and his girlfriend were asleep when 3 masked men armed with handguns woke them up at 1:30 a.m. The pair were forced to stay in bed while they ransacked the apartment, taking jewelry, electronics, and car keys. At one point, one of the men ordered Jason to get up and help carry his 32-inch TV downstairs. One of the suspects then told the pair they were so helpful they wouldn't be tied up. You've been such good victims. We're not going to tie you up. Thanks for helping us rob you.
Wow. You know, we watch those commercials by Viagra. It says if you've had an erection for more than 4 hours to seek medical, assistance. And this story is about a man who had his penis, a man whose penis was almost amputated after having a 27-hour erection. Wow. The man tried to escape from a hospital where he had been hospitalized for the condition of a prolonged and painful erection, not associated with sexual desire, but he had taken a lot of those drugs from eating lots of sexual stimulants.
Eating
or ingesting. The hospital, they told me they had to cut my penis off because it was turning black and I couldn't even urinate. That caused me terror. Me without a penis? No, he said. Let's see. He warned his wife not to sign a document authorizing the operation because I could not live without my penis. He argued that the erection began to subside gradually. He argued, and they didn't do it, and his erection began to subside gradually after treatment provided by a urologist at another hospital. He told the reporter that the other doctor was a good and very human doctor. Finally, the situation returned to normal, and he is now able to continue with his sex life, but probably will not attempt to take any more stimulants. 27 hours.
That sounds unreasonable.
It does.
You had a story about someone smuggling contraband in?
Yes.
Well, here's another one.
All right.
It comes to us from Louisiana. Authorities accuse a jail trustee of using his prosthetic leg to smuggle in contraband. Apparently, he didn't know about the rectum method.
I would prefer the hollow leg method, personally.
The Alexandria Town Talk reported the 42-year-old man was arrested and charged with introduction of contraband and possession of a controlled dangerous substance. They said during a routine check of trustees coming back to the facility, correctional officers discovered the contraband hidden in this prosthetic leg. They found bags of loose tobacco, 10 cigarettes, a container of smokeless tobacco, and 4 Soma pills. Huh. So it doesn't sound nearly as dangerous as your other guy there. That's pretty much it.
That's all we got time for. We have some other stories.
We have some other stories, but we are out of time. Because, we want to save some for next week's session of Black Yoga.
Yes.
That is us. We are.
Join us next week and be massaged from the inside.
Yeah.
We want some internal massages.
Please.
Thursday at 6.
Yes. So see you guys next week.
Listen to it.
This has been Blog Talk Radio's The Incoherent Ramblings of CNE. Christopher and Eric are your hosts, and we would like to thank you for listening to our show today. Don't forget to tune in for next week's show, live from Greensboro, North Carolina. as we are every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time.